Hi dear students, I am Srinivas sir from Sri Sai Sadbhavana School. We are studying about air and water, that is lesson number 7. We have studied about the air up to page number 54, water vapor, humidity and constituents of air, that is oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, ozone, everything we have studied, and for what purpose this oxygen is used for and this nitrogen is used for, and what are the characteristics of carbon dioxide, everything we have discussed. Oxygen is very necessary for the purpose of breathing as well as for the burning purpose. For the burning purpose it needed. This nitrogen is in the complex form. It is not directly absorbed by the plants. So some bacteria which are present inside the earth or in the soil, they absorb nitrogen and converts it into some form that the plants easily absorb it. Up to here we have studied, and the water vapor, that is humidity, how the climate is depend on this humidity, everything we have discussed. Now we will move to the page number 55, that is layers of atmosphere. Layers of atmosphere. I will read what is first they have given, what is atmosphere. Atmosphere is the blanket of air surrounding the earth. It consists of four main layers. First one is troposphere, stratosphere, ionosphere and exosphere. I will read once again: troposphere, stratosphere, ionosphere and exosphere. We will read one by one and afterwards I will explain. Troposphere. The first layer of atmosphere is called troposphere. It is the layer that we live in. This layer is made up of gases we breathe every day. It extends up to 15 km above the Earth's surface. In this layer, winds blow, clouds build up and weather changes take place. Stratosphere. It extends up to 35 km and lies above the troposphere. Stars shine in this layer. The ozone layer is situated in the upper part of this layer. This layer is very essential for the survival of human life because it does not allow harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun to enter Earth's atmosphere. Third one is ionosphere. Above the stratosphere lies the mesosphere, followed by the thermosphere. The mesosphere and thermosphere are often referred together as ionosphere. This is the thickest layer. It possesses electrically charged particles that help radius work. Exosphere. It is the layer of atmosphere above the ionosphere and is very thin. Beyond this layer lies the space. All the layers of atmosphere are held by Earth's gravity. This force keeps our atmosphere at the Earth's light place. So this is about the layers of the Earth or the layers of the atmosphere, not layers of the atmosphere. Here, how many layers are there? 4 layers are there. 4 layers of atmosphere. So first one is troposphere. Troposphere. Second one is stratosphere. Third one is ionosphere. Fourth one is exosphere. Exosphere. We will go one by one about this atmosphere layers. First one, what is the meaning of atmosphere? Atmosphere is the blanket of air. It is a blanket of air around the earth. If the earth is like this, it is the blanket of air which surrounds the earth. Which surrounds the earth is called as atmosphere. Like this it surrounds. We can't see it, but we feel it. We can't see it, but we feel it. So this is the atmosphere. This is the atmosphere. Up to some kilometers above the earth level, it extends. Not 1 or 2 kilometers, more than some kilometers it extends. We'll study in this lesson. Okay, so this is called as atmosphere. What is the atmosphere? Is the blanket of air surrounding the earth. It consists of 4 main layers. It consists of 4 main layers. First one is troposphere, stratosphere, ionosphere, and exosphere. In detail, we will go one by one. Troposphere. The first layer of atmosphere is called troposphere. What we see, this is the first layer. Just imagine, this is the first layer. So this is called as troposphere. It is the layer that we live in. That means what we are living. This is called as troposphere. That means we are living in troposphere. We are living in the troposphere layer of atmosphere. This layer is made up of gases which we breathe every day. That means this is made up of gases that we breathe every day. That is, oxygen is there, nitrogen is there, carbon dioxide is there. So this layer is made up of these gases. It extends up to 15 kilometers above the Earth's surface. That means from to this is up to 15 kilometers. This extends, which is troposphere. Troposphere extends up to 15 kilometers from the land level. From the land level up to 15 kilometers height, it is the troposphere. We feel the air as it is, what we are feeling here. In this layer, winds blow. In this layer, winds blow, clouds build up. That means the clouds are very near to us. That means not more than 15 kilometers, and weather changes takes place. Here also, weather changes takes place in this troposphere. Once again, I will explain. This troposphere is on the Earth's surface, what we are living. So it extends up to 15 kilometers height. Here the gases, what we are breathing, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, everything is present here. Here the wind blows, clouds will form, as well as the weather changes takes place. Weather changes also takes place. So this is about the troposphere. Where we are living, it is called as the troposphere. Next come to stratosphere. It extends up to 35 kilometers and lies above the troposphere. After this, it up to 35 kilometers is the troposphere. Troposphere. That means 15 plus 35, that means totally 50 kilometers. Totally 50 kilometers. Stars shine in this layer. That means when we go beyond the atmosphere, we can't see the stars. We can't see the stars. So in this, here in the troposphere as well as in the stratosphere, we can see the stars. We can see the stars. The ozone layer is situated in the upper part of this layer. That means here the ozone layer is there. This is called as ozone. Sir, all are like straight? No, all are like round. They are in the round shape, in the circular shape. This is the ozone layer. See, they have given in the figure. This layer is very essential for the survival of human life because it does not allow harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun to enter Earth's atmosphere. What is the use of this ozone layer? This is very, very important layer of the air that consists of oxygen, 3 oxygen atoms. 3 oxygen atoms. What purpose? So what is the use of this layer of ozone? This avoids the ultraviolet rays. The rays what we are receiving on the earth are different from the rays above this ozone layer. Just to understand, what we are getting here are different from the rays are different from these rays which are present above the ozone layer. They are very, very harmful. That harmful rays are filtered by this ozone layer. They are filtered by ozone layer, and the harmless sun rays are coming here. This is harmful rays. It filters into very less temperature. This filters the temperature and allow the harmless rays to the earth. So this ozone layer is very, very important. If this ozone layer is not there, we can get the harmful rays, and everywhere we get the skin allergy and the more heat. Not only the skin allergy, more heat. So it avoids all those things. So this is the importance of the ozone layer. Next comes to ionosphere. I hope you understand about the stratosphere. So this is the stratosphere. Stratosphere extends up to 50 kilometers from the land level. From the land to the up to 50 kilometers stratosphere. That means from the troposphere 35 kilometers. Total 35 plus 15, 50 kilometers. Next, ionosphere. Above the stratosphere lies the mesosphere, followed by the thermosphere. The mesosphere and thermosphere are often referred together as ionosphere. This ionosphere consists of two layers. This ionosphere consists of two layers. First one is mesosphere. Mesosphere. These are the names of the air or the atmosphere. Mesosphere and the thermosphere. Sphere means circle. Sphere means round object. Round object is called as sphere. Okay. Therefore, they have said mesosphere, thermosphere. These two make this ionosphere. Or ionosphere is divided into mesosphere and thermosphere. The mesosphere and thermosphere are often referred together as ionosphere. This is the thickest layer. This is the thickest layer. See, they are given in the violet color. It possesses electrically charged particles that help radius work. That help the radius work. Next, come to electrically charged. There, the charges, for example, signals, what we are sending, everything are at this place. Next, come to exosphere. It is the layer of atmosphere above the ionosphere and is very thin. After this is the exosphere. It is also very, very thin. Beyond this layer lies the space. After this exosphere is the space. What we are saying, we call it as space. Up to here, exosphere, all is under the control of the earth. Everything is under the control of the earth. If you go up to this exosphere, we are under the control of the earth. If we jump from this exosphere, we are not under the control of the earth. Sir, how this earth controls everything? Because earth has a force to control all these, that is called as gravitational force. We call that force as the gravitational force. See, they have given all the layers of atmosphere are held by Earth's gravity. Earth's gravity, this force keeps our atmosphere at the Earth's right place. That means according to the Earth rotation, this atmosphere also rotating. This atmosphere also rotating along with the Earth. Otherwise, we will get different atmospheres. But along with this, that atmosphere is also rotating. Sir, how can we check either the Earth has gravity or not? We are standing because of that Earth gravity. Air pressure falls on us. Because of that air pressure and the Earth gravity, we are standing. If there is no air pressure, what we will do? Everything is flying. Everything is flying. We will learn this in the higher classes. Sir, how we will feel the Earth gravity? Just you throw a small chalk piece or anything to the up. Where it will go? It will go outside or it will fall to the down? Yes, it will fall to the down. Why? Why should it should not go up? Because Earth has the gravitational force. It attracts that one. It attracts the object which whatever you throw, it is attracted by the Earth. So once again it fell down to the Earth. So this gravitational force is found by Newton. Founded by Newton. Newton proved that Earth has the gravitational force. So this is about the layers of the atmosphere. First one is troposphere, stratosphere, ionosphere. Once again it is divided into mesosphere and thermosphere, and last one is the exosphere. These are all held by the Earth's gravitation force. These are all held by the Earth's gravity or gravitational force. Next come to properties of air. Next we will move to properties of air. Take a balloon, weigh it. Now fill air inside it. You will see that the balloon inflates. Weigh it again. We can observe the difference in weight. An inflated balloon has more weight than a deflated one. This shows that air has weight. A deflated balloon occupies less space. The volume of inflated balloon increases. This shows that air occupies space. On pushing air in a balloon, its size increases. On pushing more air into it, the balloon bursts. Why? Because the balloon could not expand only up to certain limit. It bursts because the pressure of air inside the balloon becomes more than that outside the balloon. This shows that air exerts pressure. So these are the characteristics of the or the properties of the air. Properties of the air. Properties of air. Here they have given three properties. Air has weight. First one is air has weight. Second one, air occupies space. Third one, air exerts pressure. Air exerts pressure. So we will study one by one how it will, what are the properties of air. So first we will do a small experiment. Take a balloon. You have balloon in your home. Now weight it. Just you keep, if you have any weighing balance, just you weight it. It will maybe 2 or 3 grams. After that, now fill air inside it. That means blow it. You inflate it. You will see that the balloon inflates. Inflates means the balloon like this. Sorry. How it is, I don't know. Yes, if the balloon is like this, when you inflate it, it becomes like this. And when you inflated it, it becomes like this. So once again you weigh it. You tie a string. Once again you weigh it. That means you have to weight it. We can observe the difference in weight. That means we can see this inflated balloon is more than this is more than a deflated one. This is inflated balloon. This is deflated balloon. Inflated balloon means which we have blow air into the balloon. That is called as inflated balloon. The air, when we are removing that air, that balloon is called deflated balloon. Okay, deflated balloon is lesser than the inflated balloon. That means the air which is present inside the balloon has weight. Air has weight. This shows that air has weight. I will read once again. Take a balloon. Weight. Once again, just you mark it. What is the grams? Next, take that balloon and inflate it. That means blow some air into the balloon. Once again, tie a string to avoid escaping of the air from the balloon. Just you tie a string and once again you weigh that balloon. You will see the difference. The inflated balloon is more weight than the deflated balloon. So this shows that air has weight. We have blown the air into the balloon. So we are weighing the balloon. That is the air. So air has weight. Air has weight. So next come to air occupies space. A deflated balloon occupies less space. That means take a balloon, it occupies very small place. Just you keep here, it occupies some place. When you inflate it, that means if you blow air into it, it occupies more space. it occupies more space. The volume of inflated balloon increases. The size of the balloon increases. The size of the balloon increases. This shows that air occupies space. Air occupies space. Whatever, wherever we are sitting, here, everywhere, the air is present, but we can't see it because there is no color for that. No color, no smell. Just we feel it. That's all. So air occupies space also. Next, on pushing air in a balloon, its size increases. On pushing air, what it will increases. Just you will see this in the tubes of the vehicles, tires and tubes of the vehicles when we are making the puncture or repair for the tube. Repair for the tube. On pushing more air into it, the balloon burst. That means if you push more air into the balloon, what will happen? It bursts. Because the balloon could expand only up to certain limit. It bursts because the pressure of the air inside the balloon becomes more than that of the outside the balloon. Inside this balloon, what is the pressure air? Here, if the pressure is more, here it is very less pressure, so it bursts. What happens? This air wants to go to the lesser pressure area, because here it is more pressure, where once again we are pushing the air, so here it becomes more pressure, so it exerts. It means it wants to move to the lesser pressure area. So what it will do? It will opens the weakest part of the balloon and escapes from the balloon. This shows that air exerts pressure also. It exerts pressure. If you blow air forcefully, everything will blow. Have you seen that cleaning blower? By that air pressure only we are cleaning. We are cleaning by the air pressure. We are giving the air in force. That cleans everything by the blower. That shows that air has a pressure. Water pressure. Have you seen the water pressure? By the small nozzle they are cleaning the vehicles. In the same way, we are cleaning the floor, everything by this air pressure. By this air pressure, this shows that air has pressure. So air has weight, air occupies space, and air exerts pressure. These are the characteristics of the, or the properties of the air. These are the properties of the air, or the properties. Next, come to uses of air pressure. What are the uses of this air pressure? Generally, we use a straw to suck up a cold drink. When we suck cold drink through the straw, air present in the straw is first removed and the liquid runs into take its place. The air pressure in the bottle forces the cold drink to rise up in the straw. That means if you take some cool drink and you are using a straw, first when you start sucking, the air which is present inside the straw is removed. Once again, the liquid starts to flow. The liquid starts to flow because due to the air pressure here. The air pushes this and we are sucking it. So this air pushes this liquid to move inside the pipe, because we have removed the air. So this liquid occupies the space in this area, so air pressure starts here. If you want to check, just take a can which is filled with the water, take a pipe, just you keep it in the some height place and start to take some inside that, like a straw, just you remove some water and once again you leave it. Everything from the tank, it is empty by without doing anything. It is empty by, it is flowing. If you have a can like this, just I will show. If this is a can, if you have water up to here fully, just take a pipe up to here and like this. If you suck some water from here, if it starts once again up to the empty, up to full empty, that water will flow. How? Because the air pressure. That air, it starts occupying the space, it pushes the water. So this water pushes and runs from this pipe. Runs from that pipe. So this is the uses of air pressure. And also we are using the air pressure in the vehicles also. If it is air pressure is more, it becomes like a rock-like structure. So we easily move with the full weight everything. That is also uses of air pressure. Next, water supports life. Next, we will move to water. Next, water supports life. Up to here, we have studied about the air. Now we will move to water. Water is an important as air in our water is as important as for. Up to here, we have studied about the air. Now we will move to water supports life. Next topic is water supports life. Water is as important as air for our survival. All living beings need water to live. Human beings use water for different purposes like drinking, cooking, bathing, etc. Here they are given the importance of life. As the for what purpose we are using the air? For the breathing purpose. As that air we need water also for our survival. Water and air are very important for our survival. All living beings need water to live. Without water, living beings cannot live. If they live for more than 15 days or 20 days without water, before that they drink that much of water. For example, camel. Camel, when water is available, it drinks more than its capacity and it stores in some place. It uses it. Without water, we can't live because our body will get dehydration. Dehydration means the water will move away from our body. If we can't drink any more water, if we don't drink more water to our body once again, so our body in the whatever the water is present in our body, it is removed by the heat of the atmosphere. If you don't drink water, so our body become dehydrated. We call it as dehydrated. We become weak and even we will die. Because our body is made up of 70% of water. Our body is made up of 70% of water. Human beings use water for different purposes. For what purpose we are using? Drinking, cooking, bathing, for agriculture, as well as cleaning purpose. Everything we are using this water. Impurities present in water. On the basis of solubility, two types of impurities are found in water. Soluble impurities and insoluble impurities. The substance impurities that gets dissolved in water are called soluble impurities. The dissolved substances like salt and sugar are called solutes. Dissolved impurities and effects: calcium and magnesium, hardness of water and alkalinity. Sodium causes alkalinity. Iron, bad taste, red color. Magnesium, make water black or brown. There are some substances which do not get dissolved in water. These substances or impurities are called insoluble or suspended impurities. Suspended impurities and effects: microscopic organisms cause diseases. Solid like chalk and sand cause murkiness or darkness. Here they have given the impurities because we are taking inside it, we are drinking it, so it should be very clean. If it is harmful to our health, harmful to our body, our health will get affected. So we use the pure water. So they have given about the pure water, that is impurities present in water. Which are the impurities present in the water? How can we remove everything they have given? First, impurities. Which are the impurities present in water? On the basis of solubility. That means solubility means dissolving. Two types of impurities are found in water: soluble impurities and insoluble impurities. Dissolving. Some are dissolving inside the water, some are not dissolved. Soluble means the things which are dissolved in the water. Insoluble means the things which are not dissolving in the water. The substance impurities that get dissolved in water are called soluble impurities. Some are dissolved in the water, we can't see it. The dissolved substances like salt and sugar are called solutes. For example, you take some water and put some sugar. You just stir it, what will happen? It will dissolve. We can't see that sugar or salt. Salt also dissolves easily in the water. In the same way, some impurities are dissolved in the water. See, they have given some dissolved impurities and what are the effects of that dissolved impurities. First one is calcium and magnesium. What is the effect? Hardness of water and alkalinity. The water become hard water. We say hard water and soft water. Hard water is not good for anything, for drinking, for bathing, for cleaning, or for all the users. Hard water is not good. Soft water is good. So by this calcium, present of calcium and magnesium, hardness of water and alkalinity is more. Sodium causes, once again it causes alkalinity. Next, iron. By the dissolve of iron in the water, bad taste as well as the water comes in red color. Next, manganese make water black or brown. See, if manganese is dissolved in the water, that water looks in the brown color or in black color. There are some substances which do not get dissolved in water. These substances or impurities are called insoluble or suspended impurities. Some are not dissolved easily in the water. So they are called as insoluble substances or suspended impurities. Suspended means they are suspending on the suspended. That means they are what we floating on the water. Suspended means floating impurities. They are floating on the water. We can see easily them. First one is microscopic organisms. So what is the effect? Causes diseases. Solids like chalk and sand, what is makes causes murkiness, that is darkness. So this is about the water. We will continue in the next class. So up to here you understand about the water. We have just gone very simple in the water. Still it is full about the water is there, purification and everything. We will learn in the next class. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Please like and subscribe our channel. Thank you very much.